Hi everyone, you're welcome again to the Azure Fundamental Lab series. In this lab, we are going to be comparing the workload cost using the total cost of ownership calculator. What does this mean? Let's assume that you have a workload currently running on-premises environment and you want to compare when you move this workload to Azure and the current cost of you running it on your on-premises environment. So you can use the total cost of ownership to compare, your Azure environment when you finally move there and the on-premises environment which your workload is currently running on. So this is just explaining, let's say you have 50 virtual machine currently running and you want to move it. So to use the total cost of calculator, you do not need an Azure account. You can actually run this without having an Azure account. However, if you have a Microsoft account, you can sign in, and this will make it easy for you to be able to save whatever workload or estimate or anything you've done. So I'm going to just drag this and make it in to divide the screen into two. So let's hold on. Because we'll divide the screen into two. Then we have this so that we can at least compare. So the first thing we need to do is to access the TCO calculator, which I've done. Then the next thing is at least we need to define under the define your workload, which is this. We need to add, a server workload to create a role of bank of servers. So let's add the server workload. So that's going to be workload one. So we're going to rename this to server VMs. Yeah. So let's then the workload is going to be Windows stroke Linux server. Environment is going to be virtual machines, then Windows, then this is going to be Windows operating system, then operating system license is going to be data center. The number of virtual machines that we want to at least calculate this for is going to be 50. Then virtualization is Hyper-V. Core is going to be 8. The RAM is going to be 16 gig RAM for each of the machine. So we have this as CPU 2008 R2 off. So that's that. Then we need to add another server workload, and this is going to be Linux VMs. So here, which is fine, we change this to the virtual machine. This is going to be Linux, and the number of VMs is going to be 50, just like we have it with the Windows machines. Then the Hyper-V, the virtualization is going to be VMware. So we have the same core, 8. Then we have the same RAM, which is 16 gig. Then CPU, we're good. Now let's move ahead to the storage. Under storage, we need to add the storage workload. And same way we've added the values, let's add the storage value, which is going to be server storage. The storage type is going to be local disk. The disk type is going to be HDD. Capacity is going to be 60 terabyte. Then backup, let's set it to 120. Then the archive, we can leave it as, maybe it's the same way we have it here. So we're going to see, what's the network bandwidth that we currently consume on our on-premises environment. So that's going to be 15 terabytes. So let's change this to terabyte. You can select any of these destinations. So I'm just going to select West US. Then let's click on next. the next thing for us is to now adjust our assumption. So here, the assumption, we are currently going to stick with the US dollar. So in case you want to change it, that's fine. Then scroll down, then click on next, which will take us to the view report. And it now tells you, this is the total you're going to be spending on your on-premises environment if you continue to stick, with these. And this is the total, if you continue to stick with this for the next 5 years. So you can decide, like here, you can go ahead to make adjustment to maybe 3 years and see what will be the breakdown if you select the North Europe region. So let's go back to the adjustment. So this is how much you're going to save. Let's select 3 years, and let's select the Europe, North Europe, yes. So we're going to select the North Europe, and let's see over the course of 3 years, this is how much you're going to be saving. This is how much you will have spent over the course of 3 years when you're running this same workload on your on-premises environment as against when you run it in Azure. It just tells you, how much the company will save over the course of 3 years with the same workload in Azure and in on-premises environment. So see, you can see the IT labor, which is actually the same thing. You still have some IT guys in there. But yeah, this is where it gets interesting. You can see how much you'll be spending for compute, how much you'll be spending for hardware, software, electricity, virtualization, data center here. See how much you'll be spending. It's going to be zero here. The compute is the total compute. Your networking is going to be 27,000 as against the 213. How much you buy, the outbound and the likes, the storage accounts. You spend more in Azure as against, and which is where you spend more than what you have on here. So you can decide to do this. You can download this. You can also create a free account if you want to at least look at the plans on how to actually migrate, this particular workload and the likes. And that's the end of this particular session. So thank you for watching. See you